Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by Kentaro, Berger Paints, Nourish and Kurlon Mattress.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In June, we exposed the Ghaziabad fake hate conspiracy. And 5 months later, we are faced with yet another attempt to exaggerate the facts, misrepresent facts, to deliberately provoke. This time, the allegation was that a mosque was burnt in Tripura, and the social media machinery, the usual suspects, worked overtime to amplify the claim. Despite clarifications, they kept amplifying the claim. Result was violence in Maharashtra. Tonight, I exposed the anatomy of the Amravati riots, the story from Tripura. Here are the fresh developments, and then we debate.
On 27th October, social media was replete with claims that a mosque was set on fire. No attack on a mosque must be condoned. The perpetrators of any attack must be punished. But were facts exaggerated?
यही वो जगह है जो चामटिला का पानीसागर चामटिला का एरिया का जो मस्जिद के बारे में खबर आ रहा था तोड़ा गया, यही वो मस्जिद है, चामटिला का जामे मस्जिद है.
Was the truth stretched so a vandalization was painted as an all-out burning? It appears so.
कुछ देश विरोधी और शरारती तत्वों द्वारा ट्विटर एवं फेसबुक का उपयोग करते हुए उत्तरी त्रिपुरा जिले में कल हुई घटना के संबंध में फेक न्यूज और रूमर्स फैलाई जा रही हैं। इन तत्वों द्वारा जो तस्वीरें और वीडियो दिखाए जा रहे हैं उसका कल हुई घटना से कोई संबंध नहीं है। इसके साथ में ही राज्य में हुई अन्य किसी घटना से भी उसका संबंध नहीं है। मैं यह स्पष्ट कर देना चाहता हूं कि कल पानीसागर में हुई घटना में किसी मस्जिद में आगजनी नहीं।
Look at what was claimed and what was the reality.
The trigger point for the violence in Amravati appears to be fake news regarding a mosque being vandalized in Tripura. Interestingly, the Tripura police, which was aware of what was actually happening, had put out tweets stating that there was no such incident that took place and not to fall prey to such rumors.
But the mutilated version of the facts spread rapidly on social media and led to protests in Maharashtra. Vehicles were damaged in stone pelting. Two-wheelers were set on fire. The violence in Nanded, Malegaon and Amravati led to counter-violence. Flag marches were conducted and tear gas was lobbed to control the situation. Former Maharashtra Minister and BJP leader Anil Bonde has been arrested for inciting violence in Amravati.
आज सवेरे 6 बजे 200 पुलिस कर्मचारी मेरे घर पे आए, पूरे घर को घेरा हुआ था और वहाँ से मुझे यहाँ पे सिटी कोतवाली पुलिस स्टेशन लाया गया। क्यों उन लोगों को जिन्होंने मासूम लोगों को स्टैप किया गया उनको प्रोटेक्ट करने का काम शुरू है और जो हम शांतता की अपील कर रहे हैं, जो शांततापूर्ण निदर्शन कर रहे थे उनको अरेस्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Over 90 people have been arrested, over 27 FIRs in 4 police stations of Amravati, and while an aggressive investigation is on the people who spread violence and incited violence on the ground, a parallel investigation is yet to be taking place with people who played fast and loose with facts based on the Tripura violence on the social media ecosystem and used the online platforms for spreading this kind of violence.
The hate amplifiers are nervously changing their narrative. 2 journalists have been served with a legal notice for spreading false information. The anatomy of the Amravati riot is a stark reminder of how fake news was used to spread a canard that an aged Muslim man was assaulted and forced to chant Jai Shri Ram. Republic will continue to confront those who mutate the truth. mold it to fit an agenda and orchestrate hate. Every riot conspiracy will be exposed.
Atikur Rahman is opening the debate with Gaurav Goyal, and I'm also joined by Sanju Verma, Ratan Sharda, Sushil Pandit, Kishore Tiwari, Kapil Madan and Mohammad Tausif Rahman. I want to tell you all that we have enough time on the debate, okay? So there is no need for anyone to be impatient. We'll all get enough time on the debate. I have kept no other debate between now and the end of the program. So Atikur Rahman, the real issue is, was a mosque or mosques completely burnt down or burnt down? Very specific. The claim that was made on the social media was that mosques were burnt down, that there were huge fires and the mosques were completely charred, and some visuals were shared that the whole mosque had been burnt, and not just one. In fact, it was said that 12 mosques have been burnt. Please tell me, were the mosques burnt? The Inspector General of Police, Law and Order of Tripura has said very categorically, no mosque was burnt, no fire incident took place at any mosque, right? So where did this news or videos that mosques are being burnt come from?
Fine. Arnab, even I am curious to know the truth.
Oh.
I am waiting for the Union Home Ministry to get a white paper on the Tripura riots. You are believing the Tripura police, but you do not and never believe the Maharashtra police. The fact of the matter is, if there were no mosques burned in Tripura, no riots committed by the VHP in Tripura, why were the lawyers' team which went there and they held a press conference, they were charged with UAPA? Why yesterday 2 lady journalists were arrested without any charges? Why they were abducted by the Assam police
and rubbish
in a very
answer the question, Mr. Rahman.
The question was, were mosques burnt?
I
request you, Mr. Atikur Rahman, as I said, I have enough time tonight. I don't want to speak over you. I just want a very specific answer to my question. Were mosques burnt? It was said that mosques, in plural, were burnt down, in response to which there was a social media outrage, and the usual suspects carried out a lot of social media conversation on how terrible India was towards its minorities, especially in BJP-ruled states, where mosques are now being openly burnt down. Now, you say journalists said it. Let me tell you, a journalist also cannot take liberty with the facts. The same laws apply to them. If Republic would have said that mosques are being burnt, 1 minute, then I am liable if I am putting out wrong facts, right, under the law. Similarly, if somebody says I'm running a website and I have the support of some so-called, I don't know, ex-editors Guild of India, what do you call it? And they will say that no action can be taken against me. But the question will still be asked, you reported that mosques were burnt, you must prove it. You can't hide behind a veil of victimhood and say, I said that mosques were burnt. Now, it could have been that mosques were not burnt, but that the mosques were vandalized, right? But you said that mosques were burnt, because by saying mosques were burnt, you are trying to create a visual imagery. And it is very unfortunate if you are creating a visual imagery, and if you are even using fake visuals to insist that mosques are being burnt, then it's not correct. We've already said that there should be no desecration of any place of worship. But was there an exaggeration of the facts? And why do you think facts were exaggerated in this case? Please, Mr. Atikur Rahman, second time. Were mosques burnt?
Arnab, categorically I am saying, even I am curious to know, because I am sitting in Mumbai. I do not want to rely on the WhatsApp media. I do not want to rely on fake news.
Okay,
I
now,
want a categorical answer from the
no, one
Assam
minute.
government,
No,
not
the
police,
problem is,
from the Union Home Ministry, not the Delhi police.
The problem is, Gaurav, one line I give it to you. One minute. Viewers, viewers, one thing, Gaurav, one point. Viewers, this is what the Tripura police has gone on record say. They have said anti-national and mischievous elements on Twitter and Facebook are spreading fake news and rumors. The videos and photos that are being spread have no connection to the Panisagar incident. No fire incident took place on any mosque. The problem is, and Gaurav, I'm coming to you, is that by the time the police clarifies, already there are enough mischievous elements on the ground who provoke. Violence is provoked. There is violence in Amravati. Political parties, politically related groups use this kind of fake news, and a narrative is created. Property is damaged. People are attacked and injured. The country is being divided. And now, after all of this happens, Atikur Rahman comes and says, I don't know the truth. It's incredible what's going on here. Yes, please.
Arnab, 10 seconds.
No, now I need to come to others. Gaurav first.
10 seconds.
No, it's just the opening of the debate. Yeah, everybody will get their turn. Yeah.
The first question, the first and the last question of the whole debate is whether the mosque was burnt or not. When the Inspector General of Police has categorically stated that a mosque was not burnt, but now Mr. Rahman is ignoring this question because he knows that the mosque was not burnt. It's the whole toolkit strategy. There are some anti-nationals in India, and Mr. Rahman is sporting those anti-national where they want that India should be shown as a burning country. And he is very happy. He cannot even say one. He should come before the mob of 70,000-80,000 people. Mr. Rahman, you should come and say that a mosque was not burned to your people, but you will never do that. Because you will raise questions over questions, but the primarily question was whether the mosque was burnt or not. Categorically, the Tripura police has stated so, but you don't believe because you don't want to believe. Because you know that it was never done.
Why should I believe the Tripura
this is
police?
Unconstitutional.
Under Biplab Dev, we cannot believe.
So what do you believe? Whom you believe?
Coming to you, Sanju, 1 minute. Please wait.
Whom you believe? You don't believe?
We cannot believe the Tripura police.
See, this gentleman doesn't believe in the Constitution of India. This gentleman doesn't believe on the law and order. This gentleman believes in himself. This gentleman believes that India should be burnt. That gentleman believes that the riot should be carried out. You believe in such theory, mister?
We believe in an impartial inquiry. Will there
you
be
keep on doing that. Already inquiry conducted. The police stated so. If the police has stated so, you can. Why don't you go to Tripura? See, you are a learned person. You are a so-called intellectual in a converted coma. You should go to Tripura. We will pay for it. You go and inspect yourself. You will get to know the truth. Why can't you go there and see the things? It's unconstitutional to organize the rallies for the incident which has never happened. Mr. Rahman, don't support the Reuters. Don't support the riot. Don't support the anti-national. If somebody supports the anti-national, he becomes the anti-national in itself.
Okay, therefore, now that we have started the debate, 1 minute. Atikur Rahman, there is no gallery, there's only the gallery of truth, and the viewers of this program are intelligent enough to listen to this discussion and think. The problem, what happened is, over the weekend, what happened, Sanju, was that over the weekend there was a lot of misrepresentation of fact, and therefore I was thinking that we need to address the facts tonight. My friend Atikur Rahman says he would like a white paper on the subject. Sanju will debate now. Sanju is on the debate, and just 1 minute, please, just 1 minute. And opposite her is Mohammad Tausif Rahman. A question is, I will not. The statement is, I will not believe the Tripura police. I will not believe the Tripura government. I will not believe the Inspector General of Police. I will not believe the Director General of Police. But I will believe some troll sitting in Germany. I will believe some troll sitting in Sweden. Right? I will believe them when they forward an article which says mosques are torched. I don't understand. Were mosques burnt? Please tell me. The critical question is, were mosques burnt? Can I get Sanju first and then you, if you don't mind? At 2:36 a.m. on the 27th of October, a foreigner shares a video
30 seconds first.
saying that mosques have been burnt. Tripura police says no mosque was burnt anywhere in Tripura. Please do not believe the rumor. Question is, was the aim to solely to provoke? Was the aim to provoke?
Contradicting, Arnab.
Was the aim to provoke out here?
It's contradicting little bit, Arnab. People have a different speculation. You have a different speculation. I have a different speculation, Arnab. And I really want whatever is happening in Amravati right now should be stopped immediately, because this is not the right way to protest. And especially when COVID is going on, I don't know how many people will listen to me, but I really request that this should be stopped immediately. But your question is very, it's very appropriate, whether the mosque was burned or not. Now, I will never throw any fire, or I will never give any poisonous speech, or something should happen. But the thing is that there is a media house which says the Additional Inspector General Subrato Chakrabarti said the mosque was vandalized, ransacked, and few shops were burned. Now tell me whom to believe. You want me to believe Biplab Mitra? You want me to believe Tripura state? Now someone will tell me, oh, you don't want to believe the constituents. No, I want to believe the law, order and everything. But don't you think there should be a upper level inquiry?
Yeah.
Or there should be a Supreme Court inquiry?
Yeah.
Or there should be a CBI inquiry?
Yeah.
ये हो जाएगा तो अमरावती वाली किससे बंद हो जाएगा
Okay,
ना?
now,
मसला खत्म हो जाएगा. Amravati should be stopped immediately.
Would you allow a one-line intervention, or will you allow a one-line intervention before Sanju comes in? Thank you. Now, it's good we are debating on. I'll just say one line. See, listen here. You cannot change the fact, okay? If a mosque has been vandalized, if some people have thrown stones at a mosque, or if the mosque is burnt, these are three separate facts. I believe in accuracy of reporting, especially when sensitive issues are concerned. To exaggerate the facts, use false pictures to claim that the mosque is burnt is not appropriate. You also realize that this may be an attempt to provoke. If you're freely going around saying mosque has been burnt, completely charred, right? And you're amplifying then that and then commenting on it, then you're taking liberty with the facts. And therefore, what happened in Amravati is a direct consequence of the liberty with facts. And in this world today, by the time you try to correct the facts, by the time Tripura police goes around trying to put a clarification, there is already violence, and that is what we must be careful about. Sanju.
Arnab, first things first, you asked a specific question, was the mosque burnt down? Because the, crux of the controversy came from a fake news that a masjid had been burnt down in Pani Sagar in Tripura. So quickly I'll just say, the DG of Tripura, V.S. Yadav, has said no mosque was burnt. The SP of North Tripura, Bhanupat Chakrabarti, said no mosque was burnt down in Pani Sagar or in Dharmanagar. The third and most important point is that the head of Jamaat-e-Ulema Hind, which manages most of the mosques in Tripura, the head of Jamaat-e-Ulema Hind, Sayyid Mufti Rahman, mind you, Sayyid Mufti Rahman, he is not pro-BJP. He has pointedly said, and his statement is out in the public domain, no mosque or masjid was burnt in Pani Sagar. So there is a Maulana who manages most of the mosques. His institute manages and funds most of the mosques in Tripura.
Sanju ji, you cannot give this verdict whether it was burned or not.
I did not interrupt you even once.
I am not giving any verdict that the mosque was burned. You are talking about Subrato Chakrabarti.
1 minute. Tausif, you know what happens is, to be fair, Tausif, now please, you know something, we have a good debate, and I agree with Sanju. She did not, uncharacteristically, if I may add, interrupt you even once, and since she has done that, you also listen to her and stay on the facts and let every side present their facts. Please, can we do that? Sanju, please continue.
Thank you. Arnab, you know, the other very important thing is that, fine, assume that, you know, there was a mosque that was burnt, hypothetically speaking, in Tripura. Tripura mein jo hua, why should there be arson, loot, violence in Nanded, Amravati, Yavatmal, in Maharashtra? I have these statements of three very important people from the Maharashtra police dispensation. There is Pramod Shevale, there is Vikram Ser, and there is Suraj Mandhare. All these people are either the DCP, SP or district collector of Malegaon, Nanded, Amravati. And there is one common thing which all these top police officials have said. Permission was not taken by the crowd. I'm talking of the 8,000 strong Muslim crowd that assembled at Nanded. I'm told that the crowds in Amravati and in Malegaon were actually far higher, in the region of 24 to 40,000. That is what local dailies like Lokata have reported. So the point is, was the Maharashtra police dispensation for napping? If yes, who does the Maharashtra police dispensation report into? The current Home Minister Dilip Walse Patil. Are we not going to ask for accountability from NCP's Dilip Walse Patil? Are we not going to ask for accountability from Yashomati Thakur, who is the guardian minister of Amravati and is a senior Congress leader? Are we not going to ask for accountability from Subhash Desai, supposedly one of the tallest leaders in Shiv Sena and the guardian minister of Nanded? Are we not going to ask for accountability from Uddhav Thackeray, who did not bother to even give a bite or come out of his bungalow, his ivory tower, when Maharashtra was burning? Had this incident occurred in Uttar Pradesh, everybody would have said Yogi resigned. Had this incident happened in Haryana, everybody would have said ML Khattar istifa do. But because this has happened in Maharashtra, you are trying to mollycoddle the narrative by saying, "Arey Uddhav Thackeray ki to galti nahi thi, Congress ki galti nahi thi." And what business does Rahul Gandhi have sitting miles away in London and lecturing people at a training session in Maharashtra saying Hindus are violent, Hinduism is violent, Hindutva is violent? He was basically doing the work of aag mein ghee ka kaam karna. So the point is, Maharashtra police was caught napping, Uddhav Thackeray was caught napping, and the current Home Minister who belongs to the NCP. All these people were caught napping. And Raza Academy, let me remind you, what Arnab said, yes, in 2012, 63 people were injured and 2 people died. But in January 2020, Uddhav Thackeray had invited Raza Academy and his senior members to his place to have a discussion on CAA. When you legitimize hardcore terrorist groups like Raza Academy, then this is the kind of violence that is the byproduct, because you are trying to legitimize illegitimate outfits which are radicalized Islamist in nature.
Should I speak now?
No. What action? Why doesn't the central government act against them then? 1 minute.
Okay.
Why doesn't the central government act against them then? Why hasn't the central government till today outlawed the Popular Front of India, which is responsible for some of the most vicious campaigns and some of the most communal actions and statements? Why don't you take action against them?
You know, Arnab, now this is not being offensive towards anyone. Yes, Popular Front of India and the Campus Front of India and FTTI should be banned. But I think you know more on this than most of us. You are aware that the recommendation to ban TFI has to come from the respective state dispensation, because law and order under the 7th schedule of the Constitution is a state subject.
Yeah, but I am happy to inform you. I am happy to inform you that as far as I am concerned, I have concrete information that the state government of Assam has written to the Ministry of Home Affairs. You can check with your contacts there. In the last few weeks, asking for a ban on the PFI, and I don't know what action has happened after that. Now the question here is. Now the question here is. Now the question here is. Now the question here is.
No, 1 minute. Was any action taken against Palghar Sadhu?
I can't hear you. Can you be a bit louder?
I will finish in 10 seconds. Arnav, I will finish in 10 seconds. What I don't like about the current Maharashtra dispensation,
Arnav, she is going to
is that
Palghar
they
now.
have been saying we arrested 25
Arnav, let
people
us
in the Amravati
restrict to
violence.
this incident.
Just give me 10 seconds. You arrested 25 people so far so good. You had arrested 251
Why should
people
we
in
act upon
Palghar
your
violence.
likes and dislikes?
But you allowed everyone to
Who
go
are
for
you?
72
Who are you?
hours.
You want
No
to be a
charge sheet
star
was
campaigner
filed.
in you coming UP
That is what is
elections.
happening in the Amravati.
Nobody
violence
stops
case.
you
You
doing
arrested
that.
25 people. You will now allow them to
You
go
will be
for
a star
the next
campaigner
Now,
48
because
hours.
your audio is not
This
clear,
a
1 minute, I will not have another person on the other side. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I heard you. Question being tonight. Please, one by one. And Sanju, your audio line was not very clear. I may just tell you, we'll try and fix it in the course of the debate. Question here is, Kishore Tiwari and Ratan Sharda, same fake news machinery every time. Tell me one thing, Kishore Tiwari, don't tell Ratan Sharda, who is spreading the news that mosques were burnt, and is that fake news not responsible for the sparking of the violence in Amravati? Waris Pathan, All India MIM says, Muslims are being attacked in Tripura, houses, shops and mosques are being burned down. He is not separating. He is not saying shops are being burnt or mosques are being vandalized. No. He is clubbing it together. And he is saying shops, houses and mosques are being burned down. Now this is an attempt at creating a line of deniability, because tomorrow you can say, I meant that shops were burnt, but you also know what it means when you say mosques are burnt. And you say not a single word from PM Modi. This is October 27th. My view is same fake news machinery every time. Ratan Sharda, you follow social media. All India MIM, 14 June, crafted and amplified a Hindutva spin to the video of an old man being attacked due to personal rivalry. But Asaduddin Owaisi tweeted it to his 1.9 million followers. Now he, along with Waris Pathan, tweets that mosques were burnt on the 27th of October. Is there a single clarification? No, the mosques were not burnt, perhaps? Or a single retweeting of what the Tripura police says with an additional tweet on top of it saying, perhaps I put out wrong information? Same Indian American Muslim Council, which had tweeted the Ghaziabad video with a fake narrative, within 55 minutes of Lutyens media amplifying the fake hate, was one of the first on 27th October to spread the fake news. Same CJ Worleman, Ghaziabad police clarification, some foreign journalist, was giving a communal twist to the Ghaziabad incident. Same person is tweeting fake news now, that mosques were burnt.
Arnab, since you talked about the toolkit, let us remember that right from 2014, the church attack, the nuns rape, there has been continuous attempt to demonize Hindutva, demonize Hindus, and demonize the ruling party. That has continued during CA, that has continued during Shaheen Bagh, the farmer protest. Every sentence has been created to create unrest. I was today in a debate where Tripura PCC chief was present. Why I'm quoting him? Because they are saying we don't have the true picture because you are arresting journalists. That gentleman said that we had a private investigation done by our own party. And the anchor asked him, then why did you press the fact? He said it is confidential. So you will keep your report confidential, but you will use the fake news to spread hate, to spread hatred. Now this particular case, there are 11 videos which are clearly marked fake by parallel offering up from where the origin was. It was from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from Delhi, from every possible place there are fake videos. Where are the fact checkers? So you can spread those fake videos to create riotous situation, then claim there is nothing. Raza Academy did the 2012 riots using fake pictures from Pakistan and creating mayhem and fear for the northeastern students in Bangalore and various parts of countries. There are riots all over based on fake pictures. So this is the same modus operandi. Same Raza Academy went on to meet the AIC General Tariq Anwar, Bhai Jagtap, Amin Patel on 12th November when the riots were taking place. They were present with government people. Shiv Sena guy knowing there is COVID, there is no permission taken.
Question here being, Kapil raises his hand. Kapil, 1 minute. Question here being, there is a person. Question being, we know what happened in the fake news regarding Ghaziabad. You all know about it now. What a fake news story it was, right, Kapil? Now the same Rana Ayub, who posted fake narratives of the Ghaziabad story at that time, is now saying in tweets that Hindu nationalists torch Muslim houses and torch mosques.
Give me one reason.
And then says with an observation.
Why riots happened in Maharashtra?
And then says as an observation that the torching of mosques is the precursor to a genocide. So I am only saying tonight, Kapil, if you are going to say to me, no, we can take the liberty with the facts and exaggerate a little bit, idhar udhar, stretch it a little bit, exaggerate it a little bit, it's okay. I'm saying it's not okay. It's not okay. Kapil, take a stand. Kapil, take a stand.
I am
take a stand. Sushil is on the debate. I say take a stand. No more of these fake news toolkits. Take a stand.
So, Arnab, I would not want to believe,
Arnab, can I have my say here?
So I think,
after Kapil, yes, Sushil. After Kapil, yes.
Yeah. So I do not want to believe, and what Rana Ayub has, tweeted on her Twitter account, but I do believe what Kapil Mishra said, just before the Delhi riots, and if you draw the parallel between what has happened in Delhi and what has happened in Mumbai, I mean, there are glaring similarities. What has happened in Mumbai, Amravati?
No, one second. I'll tell you. No, Kapil, I'll tell you where the similarities are. 1 minute. Let me tell you where the similarities are. 1 minute. Kapil, I will tell you first. Answer the question. Answer the question. Was there fake news in the Tripura case or not? Was there fake news in the Tripura case or not, Kapil? Was there fake news spread in the Tripura case or not? Confront the facts. Look at me and answer my question. No, look at me and answer my question. Please don't try to slip away. No, Kapil. We are opening the debate. I am asking you again. I am asking you again. I'll give you 1 minute if you answer my question. I am asking you the question, Kapil. I am asking you a simple question. You listen to me. Listen to me. No, you haven't even heard my question. Maybe while you are heckling me, the viewers have not heard the question. So I will repeat for all the viewers. And my question to Kapil is tonight, and this is the question, viewers, we need to ask. We need to ask this. No, I will not. I'll tell you one thing. Kapil, please wait. Kapil, please wait. Thank you. I said thank you. Please wait. The very specific question, and please note, my dear viewers of the debate. Please note I have 8 panelists on the program, and please note that there are 2 ways of doing this. Either I allow people to heckle or speak over each other, or I put a very pointed question to an individual, and the least I can expect tonight is a pointed reply. My question is, I have a rule. If there is a communally sensitive situation, Kapil, allow me to complete my question. See how they are all getting flabbergasted. They are reflecting it. They are getting flabbergasted and shaky. They are shaky. They are trembling, viewers. Are you noticing this? Just because I'm asking a question, they don't know which way the questions will go. They don't know whether I'll end up firing a question at them. They would rather run away from the debate tonight than answer my question. But my question tonight is this. I have an editorial principal, Atikur Rahman. Atik, thank you. Don't worry. I'll ask you too. My editorial principle is that when there is a communally charged situation, you need to be exact on the facts. You need to be exact on the facts so that there is no misrepresentation of the facts. And when you stop. Thank you. My simple, in a communally charged situation or a sensitive situation, you need to be exact on the facts. in the Tripura case, I have proven that people, including some news media houses, were not exact on the facts, Sushil. And my friend Kapil says, I'll give you a comparison. I'll give you the best comparison, Sushil, then hand it over to you. 2012 viewers, right?
Yeah.
Violence in Assam sparked protests and led to the death of some people in Mumbai. We know exactly what happened. Okay? You know what happened at Azad Maidan then. The attempt right now, Sushil, is to, and especially before UP election, try and create a situation to spread communal wildfire across the country. And worry is, even after what happened in Amravati, people are not willing to. People said Tripura is burning, mosques are being burnt. It was being put out there. When I put it out tonight, they don't want to talk about it. I say, Sushil, people misrepresented facts, and that's what led to the violence in Amravati. Sushil, over to you. Let's focus the debate.
Thank you, Arnab. Arnab, I see a pattern here. In Azad Maidan, what happened, the pretext was Rohingyas suffering in Myanmar. Some years before that, a pastor in US decided to torch a copy of Quran, and the violence was unleashed in several parts of India. There were cartoons published in Paris, and perhaps the French government decided to get tough on radicals. There was violence here and elsewhere. The point is, some of this news may be true sometimes, often it is fake, but does that justify unleashing of violence on unsuspecting innocent citizens? Even if in Tripura, had there been some arson and vandalization, would that justify torching of shops and looting of homes and beating up of people, innocent citizens elsewhere? Now that is what brings me to the point, the way this debate is framed, as if the mosque had been gutted in Tripura, all this would have been kosher and justified. I beg to differ. If lakhs of Hindus of my community were turned out of Kashmir, would it be justified for Hindus in rest of the country chasing out Muslims from their domains? No. So therefore, in a civilized democracy, in a constitutional state like India, we need to read the Riot Act and draw the red lines. There can be no pretext to violence. And this is what brings me to what is happening today. We see the enemy within itching for even a pretext to unleash violence. That is what we see on one hand. And on the other hand, those who are supposed to protect us, those who are supposed to be leading us, running the government, they create an illusion of security. Some kind of a make-believe world where we are held hostages to this violence.
Arnab, is he threatening?
Really baffling.
Is he threatening the other communities? कि अगर ऐसा होता तो हम ऐसा कर सकते थे? Am I talking over here that whatever is happening in Amravati is nice?
If you are so thick not to understand what I am saying, then there is nothing.
You are threatening, sir. You just said that
on the contrary, I am saying if it happens at one place, it should not spread to the other places.
This is the mindset, poisonous mindset.
That is the
because
point I am
of
making.
You people,
if you
India
want
is
to,
in such a
if
state.
you want to convolute the entire argument, it is entirely your problem.
Straightly, Tausif, just tell me whether the mosque was burned or not. And I never said yes, the mosque was burned. I only said.
Do you think a burning of mosque would have justified this violence? Are you saying that?
There should be a high level.
Are you insisting that a burning of mosque would justify burning down everywhere?
No, he talks about.
Am I giving any?
No.
I'm asking a simple question.
You have such a ridiculous state of mind that अगर ऐसा होता तो हम ऐसे कर लेते.
No. Not at all. You are trying. Tausif, I tell you this. Don't play with words. 1 minute. I'm saying Don't play with words.
No.
Don't take liberties. 1 minute.
He is looking
1
for
minute.
pretext.
1 minute.
He's looking for
1 minute.
alibi.
We make a choice tonight. We make a choice. We make a choice. Yes, on the Republic channel, I want to say one thing. Please, Mohammed Tausif Rahman, please 1 minute, please. See, Tausif, 1 minute. Tausif, if a minute, please. Tausif, a minute, please. Tausif, a minute, please. A minute, please. A limited point being made tonight, and I don't know why people don't understand it. Viewers, over the last few days, there has been a deliberate attempt to try and create a communal riot in our country. Don't we understand it? And in which certain members of the media have played an active part.
Absolutely.
In amplifying lies, provoking people. What are we supposed to do? Do you take the guarantee? My only question is tonight, does anyone take the guarantee that the fake news from Tripura will not lead to further violence in Amravati, which will not spread elsewhere? Will you realize only when violence comes to our individual doors? It's a bigger question tonight.
Let me speak.
Sanju.
We need to call out, or not, we need to call out the bluff of those, irrespective of party lines, who abetted these riots. And two names which immediately come to my mind are Ayaz Halchal of the NCP. He's a corporator. There are videos where he is clearly instigating the Muslim crowd to go and vandalize Hindu shops, which actually suffered from arson and looting. That is captured on video. And the second name that comes to my mind is that of Arjun Panditrao Khotkar, an ex-MLA and still a very senior leader of the Shiv Sena. There are 11 videos, and in all the 11 videos, one man who is there consistently egging the Muslim crowd to vandalize Hindu shops is Arjun Panditrao Khotkar.
Why was your party leader arrested?
That is also another point I wanted to focus on. Anil Bonde, the ex-agriculture minister of Maharashtra, has clearly said, show me the proof that I was encouraging and abetting the crowd to engage in violence, and I'm going to quit politics. So you had the guts to arrest Anil Bonde, but the Mahavasuli Agadi did not have the guts to arrest Arjun Panditrao Khotkar. They did not have the guts to arrest.
Was there provocation on both sides? Was there provocation on both sides? Was there provocation on both sides?
By radical Islamists.
Let's not get into the argument of who started it, who instigated it. But here's a bigger question tonight. Sanju, a question. Sanju, a question. Do political parties, 1 minute, please. Just a minute. Sanju, may I come in? Viewers, when Shaheen Bagh was happening, and Sanju, please hear me and don't interrupt me now. And Ratan and Sharda and everyone, I see your hand raised, but I'll place my point before all of you. Viewers, when Shaheen Bagh was happening, and it started from around December of 2019, or even earlier, I think. I don't remember the exact dates. I had said very clearly at that point of time that there must be an end to all this. It must not be allowed to simmer. You remember Ratan Sharda, I said it cannot be allowed to simmer. And sometimes political parties, instead of acting, allow things to simmer because they think if things get polarized, then both sides will benefit. And that is not in national interest. It must not be allowed to simmer. When things simmer, then political parties on both sides use the situation to polarize and try to extract immediate advantage. The question is, fake news from Tripura leads to a situation where in Amravati there is polarization from one side, leading to a counter response from the other, and vice versa. And everybody seems to be enjoying it. The politicians are enjoying it at the people's expense, Ratan Sharda. I mean, come on. Facts were exaggerated is one thing. Were political parties on both sides taking advantage of the polarization or not?
That's not correct. Can I share the chronology? On 29th October, the PFI held protests all over India. Again, on 2nd of November, the 2nd November, Raza Academy gave a call for Maharashtra Bandh. On 8th November, Rashtriya Muslim Morcha held protests. 29 to 12 November, there are protests
are on
all
the
over
side of the
Maharashtra.
RSS,
So till 10th November,
RSS
there
is
was
guided,
no response from
BJP is
any
guided by
political
the
party
RSS,
except the
all
Raza
criminal
Academy
flare-ups
and the Shiv
led
Sena
to
and the
the
NCP. So
strength of
don't
the
blame
BJP
the
in
opposition. It
independent
was the
Atik.
ruling party which created mayhem. It was the ruling party which allowed this thing to deteriorate.
Ratan Shah
Otherwise,
ji,
tell
who
me,
have gained
how
out
did
of all
poisonous
these
videos
communal
from
elements? It
Aurangabad,
is your
from
party, the
Nanded, were
BJP,
allowed to be
led by the
circulated in
RSS,
lakhs.
and you are
They
the
are
supporter
giving
of
their
RSS
speech, the mullahs are
BJP.
speaking.
You do not have
What
a
I'm
right
saying,
to speak on this
हमारे
subject,
हक
sir.
है, हम
How
जान
can
भी
you
ले सकते
speak?
हैं.
How
He
can you
said,
speak on this
shut down your
subject?
shops or don't tell
You
us.
on
So
the
these are
plank
kind
of communalism
poisonous
have
speeches
gained power
that
in
are given
India.
on the YouTube
You
of
are
various
nowhere
small
in the
towns.
ruling
It is not
regime.
Amravati.
You
There
were
are
nowhere
15
in the
towns
electoral
who are
politics.
affected.
Nobody
There are 6
voted
towns
for
where there
the
are violence,
BJP.
and now you
Only
don't
on a
blame
communal
BJP
plank they have
onto
come
this
to
when
power.
all this happened
You
much
are
before
speaking on
12th
these
November.
lines.
So
How
this was
can
a
you,
build-up
who
till
have
12th
given you the
November,
right to
and
speak on
government
these
in
lines?
Maharashtra
You
kept
are
twiddling its thumbs,
supporting a
did not
political
take
party.
any action.
You
So they
gave
wanted things to deteriorate.
Viewers, what is established without doubt, what is established without doubt on the program tonight, 1 minute, what is established without doubt on the program tonight is that fake news was used to provoke. Now you can go on about chronology and who provoked whom first. But one thing which is established without a doubt, viewers, and I request you all, I request all viewers, please don't take sharp positions on social media because you may be amplifying it. And for everybody, everyone who thinks they are innocent because you only amplified someone else's lie, no. If you amplified the lie on Tripura without verifying, then you are as guilty. Fake news has been used to provoke. Sanju.
You know, or no, amidst all this, who is going to nail the 51-year-old forever prince in waiting, juvenile Rahul Gandhi, who gave an inflammatory speech when there was no need to do so? And Atikur Rahman said the BJP gained from this communal polarization. Excuse me, the BJP is not the one that was involved in the incident in June 2021.
Sushil Pandit is absolutely correct. If this tit for tat is not for that tit for tat, then the Sabarmati Arts Express burning was the result of the Gujarat riots, which you support. The Gujarat riots were no. Then you have to say that the Sabarmati Express burning was not the result of this thing. Gujarat riots,
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, both sides. Now one point tonight. Gaurav Goel, and in the concluding part, I'll get Gaurav and Tausif. Both sides will get 30 seconds each because I have limited time. Simple question.
Yes.
Was fake news used to provoke, and is there a pattern? Is it the first time that fake news has been propagated to try and precipitate a riot-like situation or not? Simple point. 30 seconds first. First 30 seconds to Gaurav, and then an equal response.
Now we have seen for the last 2 years that time after time the pattern is the same. It's a fake news which has revealed everything. But just one thing, there are people, those who don't believe on the police, don't believe on the Indian army, don't believe on the Indian constitution, but they believe what Pakistan has said, what China has said, what Taliban has said. There are people who believes on the international, but they don't believe what the Indian government says, what the state government says, but they believe on the fake news and they do
all
this.
your conjectures, sir. Nobody believes in Pakistan. Nobody
This is what you
believes
feel,
in Pakistan.
sir. This is what you feel, and you are doing it.
Okay, run short of time, viewers.
Then, not even a second
all
you
your
have said
conjecture.
that
There is no proof
Okay,
what you
Tausif.
say.
Not you have said that you are not saying this.
No, we need to be very careful.
Because you know that you are with them from the core of your heart.
Tausif, I just think we need to agree that we need to be very careful next time.
Gaurav ji.
This was very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. There must be violence nowhere, but if an exaggeration of the facts is leading to it, it was entirely avoidable. Entirely avoidable. No justification of that, Tausif, this time.
No, Arnab. I'll just
Today
take
also
30
he's not
seconds.
criticizing what is going on in the Amravati. He's not criticizing that.
Neutral.
Not condemning that.
Today, you know, because you just said, yeah. No. That's
Sir,
what
you
I'm
please
saying.
criticize
I don't
it.
want to condemn, but
Condemn
I want
it.
to appeal
That is, this was
everyone
wrong.
That this is not the way to protest.
No, you're not saying that. You're saying in a very soft words.
Okay,
There is no law
viewers.
and order.
No, viewers, I gave a chance
No, I
here.
don't want to condemn
I gave a
because I don't
chance
know the
here.
truth. I don't know the truth.
I think there are
I don't know
lessons
the
of all
truth.
this. If we
I
don't
have to know the
understand
truth. What happened
the
in
lessons of the fake news in Ghaziabad, the exaggerated news, the fake news in Tripura, we don't listen to the law and order machinery, we don't listen to the clarifications of the police, then I don't know what kind of a situation we are preparing for. Well, we are trying to tell you to be mindful.
He believes on the Taliban.
Priyanka Bhatnagar says today the whole country is paying homage to the brave martyr with moist eyes, but the sympathizers of Naxalites are mute today. Hiran Desai says, my heartfelt condolences for our brave hearts and the innocent families. Dolly says, dear Arnab, forces first, no compromise. All those who dare to support the terrorists need to be booked. No mercy. How dare people have the gumption to support them? Thank you very much, Dolly, Hiran and Priyanka. And I shall look forward to seeing you at 9 o'clock sharp tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.